So, good morning, everyone. And before I start, let me share. Today, I am taking this class from Suchitra College campus. So, there is some background noise, and my internet also may not be as stable, and I may not be able to hear you very well. So, perhaps audio clarity may not be so good, but I think still it should be manageable. Okay. So we were at the topic of bar magnet, and bar magnet. We last class we spent some time comparing bar magnet to electric dipole, and many properties of bar magnet in terms of field, torque, potential energy, all are similar. So it's not a new topic if you think it is parallel to uh, electric dipole. So bar magnet is similar to electric dipole, is a magnetic dipole. So we go through some questions which are very similar to what you have done in case of electric dipole. So first you should all think it's not a new topic. So let's look at some question, and since we have done similar question in slightly different form, different notation, but underlying principle remains same. Let's go through some question. I'll do a little faster. When a bar magnet is placed at 90° to uniform field. So something like this, but if you want to visualize this picture, what is this one? So there's a uniform field. How we draw uniform field? Uniform field we draw in terms of parallel field lines. So there's a uniform field, and bar magnet is placed at 90° to the uniform magnetic field. How is the bar magnet placed? This is how the bar magnet is placed. Okay. And so this is the direction of field. And in case of bar magnet, okay, this is north, so we can take the bar magnet dipole moment. We have this orientation, from south pole to north pole. Now, bar at 90°, couple is maximum. So this question is related to torque. So what is torque in case of dipole placed in a uniform? See, in case of electric dipole, and same thing happens in magnetic dipole also. Torque is equal to m cross b. Or in terms of magnitude, it is equal to mv sine theta. So this is fairly simple question. We understand torque will be maximum when bar magnet is placed at 90°, and which will be equal to m into b. So question is fairly simple here. For the couple to become half maximum value, what should the angle? So actually, at what angle will the torque become half? Okay, let some angle theta, let the torque become half. So at some theta, torque is equal to half of maximum torque. So what does that mean? At mb sine theta, when angle is theta, what is the torque acting? Mb sine theta is equal to 1/2 of mb, which is very simple, which will come to 30°. So point again you have to note, is this a new question? Is it doing for the first time? No. If you recall, electric dipole is exactly the same. Only thing, the convention has changed. In place of E, B has come, and in place of dipole moment P, the convention what we used, M has come. Similarly, let's look at this and go a little further. So, magnetic dipole is under influence of two magnetic fields. All of you read the question, then I'll quickly discuss what this question is. Again, I keep repeating this point. Is not a new topic. Angle between two fields is 60°. So all of you read and try to understand which concept it is based on. Then I'll discuss what it is about. So, and try to think which concept we need to apply here. So there are two fields. A dipole is under influence of two magnetic field. One of the field is given. So we have drawn two fields, B1 and B2. Angle between them is 60°. If dipole comes to stable equilibrium at an angle of 15° with this field. So this is one of the field I have taken as 1.2. And in this field, if you place a bar magnet or magnetic dipole, it comes to an equilibrium. So let's try and understand how the figure would look like. So if I place a bar magnet here, the bar magnet comes to an equilibrium like this. This is how the bar magnet comes to an equilibrium. This angle is 15°, and naturally this angle becomes 45°. So what is the magnitude of other field? So can we identify which concept is applicable here? Which concept is applicable in this case? Kartikeya, can you tell me which concept do we need to apply? Why it has come, bar magnet has come to an equilibrium in particular direction? Which direction the bar magnet comes to an equilibrium? Kartikeya, can you tell me?
15 degrees with V1.
No, so basically bar magnet comes to an equilibrium. It aligns itself with the direction of external magnetic field. So it means the resultant field is making an angle of 15 degrees. So resultant of B1 and B2 is along this direction. This is the direction of resultant. So that's what it is given here. So we need to find relationship between B1 and B2. If resultant is in this direction, if I call this direction as X direction, what does it mean? The Y component, perpendicular component of B1 and B2 are equal and opposite. So if I have to write equation, this is based on, so first point, what are the, if I have to write what points I should use, which concept should I use? First thing, it is based on equilibrium position. What does equilibrium position imply? Equilibrium implies direction of resultant B. So if I take vector sum of the two, how do I form equation between B1 and B2? If this is the angle, so if I basically, if this is the resultant, it means perpendicular component are cancelling out. So from this I can say perpendicular component to equal and opposite. Based on this I can form equation. So what are the perpendicular components now? So this angle is 30, this angle is 15. So let me write the value. So B2 sine 45 has to be equal to V1 sine 15. Base that's the equation. Next question, all of you read this question and then I'll discuss. So this is what the information is given the question. A compass needle is magnetic moment M is given, and when it is pointing towards north, why is it experiencing torque? So this question is based on torque. A dipole, magnetic dipole placed in a magnetic field experiences a torque. So what is the torque it experiences? We know what the torque is. Torque is equal to M into B into sine theta. This value of torque is given. What is M here? Dipole moment of the magnetic needle. What is B here? Horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field, because it is free to rotate about vertical axis. What is theta here? Theta is angle between direction of magnetic field and dipole. Dipole is directed towards geographic north, and this is the direction of magnetic field BH. So here angle theta here is equal to angle of declination. So this point here, since needle is along geographic north, so angle between geographic north and magnetic north is equal to angle between M and B. So here in this case, theta is equal to angle of declination. So can we find angle of declination here? This also now we can substitute the value. So we'll put the torque value and we can find value of theta. This also is a. Anybody has a problem? Is understood? Khyati, are you following this? Khyati?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So can you easily find an answer now? Have you understood why this theta is equal to angle of declination? Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Okay. This question, and this is slightly, this kind of question have come in the past. Let's read through this question and try to understand which principle it is based on. Initial.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, in the previous question, like if it is freely suspended, then we have to take due to both the components, right, sir?
Yeah, yes. But mostly I'll come to those questions a little more complicated. But as I mentioned, if it is free to rotate, I will come to that question last. I think we'll take it separately. See, if it is free to rotate about vertical axis, which B we need to take? Horizontal component. I'll come to one question later on. Okay. And
Yes, sir.
if okay, we'll come to that part. So let's look at this question. A similar question we had done in case of electric dipole. I can represent magnetic needle by a vector, an arrow. This is how M is, and this is how B is. If this is the state, this is the state of equilibrium, and theta is 0. This how that's what we say. If a magnetic dipole is placed in a magnetic field, and if it is free to rotate, it will come in the equilibrium when it is aligned with B. Angle theta is 0. So that's the state of equilibrium. There's one more position, theta is equal to 190. The question is, what is work done required to turn it by 60 degree? So from here, what is the state, final state? We are rotating it by 60 degree. So M becomes like this. B remains like this, M becomes like this. What is work done here? So this question is based on work done by external agent, which is equal to work done by non-conservative forces. Is equal to typically work done by non-conservative forces is equal to change in potential energy plus change in kinetic energy. That's the general form. And whenever it is rotated here, there's no change in kinetic energy. So work done will be equal to PE corresponding to theta final minus PE corresponding to theta initial. But what is potential energy? Potential energy is minus MB cos theta F minus MB cos theta initial. And if we take care of negative sign, we can also write as work done is equal to cos theta initial minus cos theta final. So 60 degree it is given here. So we can easily calculate it. What is work done? Work done is equal to MB by 2. That is equal to W. And we have done similar question. What is the torque required? So this is the work done. Torque required will be how much? Torque will be equal to MB sine 60. Where the value of MB, substitute MB value equal to 2W here. So MB is equal to 2W into root 3 by 2. That's the torque required. And if you go through your old questions, this question also we have done in case of electric dipole. This question, pole strength created at the center. Okay, this question, let's try and understand what is happening in this case. Let's look from the top. It's something like this. So there's a needle which is placed, and we are looking from the top, and the needle is like this. I can represent by an arrow also. So this is what the magnetic needle is like, and it will point in this direction. It will point not towards north, it will point toward magnetic north. That's the orientation. Okay, if north pole is pulled eastwards, okay, so this is north, and if I draw it north, this will become east. It is pulled towards east by string. So what we do here, it is free to rotate, and this is top view. If I look from the top, this is what it looks like. This is free to rotate. So you can imagine if I tie a string and pull it like this. And you can visualize if tension is very small, it will rotate by smaller angle come to rest. If the tension is more, it will rotate by higher angle. Let's say if I apply horizontal force, it produces a deflection of theta. So theta means it rotates from here, it rotates by angle theta. And it is implied after rotating by angle theta, it is in the state of equilibrium. So this is how it is in the state of equilibrium. So this is a dotted state. It shows the state of equilibrium. So what we have to find here, is can I write a equation between T and theta? M, what are the relevant terms here? This is plus M minus M kind of thing. So basically plus and minus M implies what? Dipole moment is equal to, and let me take the total length as 2L. What is M equal to? M is equal to 2M. That's the first equation. So can I write, how do I form an equation? How do I use condition of equilibrium? I stood the condition in this state of equilibrium, net torque has to be 0. So this is rotational equilibrium. So rotational equilibrium, net torque has to be 0. What are the two torques acting here? One torque is due to dipole because of magnetic field. So torque due to magnetic field has to be equal and opposite to torque due to the tension force in the string. What is the torque due to magnetic field? Magnetic field is applying a torque which is trying to rotate back to the equilibrium position, whereas this is trying to rotate in the other direction. So torque due to magnetic field will be equal to how much? That we know that torque due to magnetic field is equal to mb into sine theta. What is not given in the question? I think this question I wanted to bring one more point. I hope some of you will appreciate. What should be given here? Does this tension, does it always remain? There are two ways I can ask the question. That one is the tension remains always pointing towards east. So one question I can solve, the direction of T does not change. Second case is that T always remains perpendicular to the needle. Both cases I'll get a different answer. So what are the two possible cases? One is T is constant in magnitude as well as direction. In that case, it will have a different torque. In that case, torque due to T will be, so this will be equal to T into L cos theta. If direction of T always eastwards, and it will be equal to T into L if T is always perpendicular to needle. Bhagishri, have you understood this point? The two different orientation of torque here?
Yes, sir.
So, understand the torque, how do you calculate? If we are calculating torque here, in this case, if its direction does not change, this becomes perpendicular distance, which is equal to L cos theta. So we just substitute and we can solve. And in place of M, we substitute 2ml, we can find. So this question, in my opinion, it is ambiguous. And similar questions have come, and there are two possible solutions based on how force T is acting. This question I will not solve. I will just mention which principle this question is based on. If we visualize what is given here, just draw a figure. What is given here? Magnetic moment is free to rotate about vertical axis. Again, I take a top view. What is happening in this question? This question, if you realize, then kinetic energy, moment energy term has come. This question involves conservation of energy. So what is happening in this case of the two states of conservation of energy we need to apply. And whenever I use conservation energy, we have to visualize which are the two states, what forces are acting, and is there any non-conservative force work done. So let's think what is happening. Let's form east-west position. Let's say this is the direction of north, and whenever nothing else is mentioned, you have to assume north and magnetic north are same unless mentioned otherwise. So this is the direction of B at that place, and that will be in since it is free to rotate about vertical plane. This is the direction of BH, horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. And what is the magnet position? What is the initial state of magnet? Let's from east-west position. Let me try mark how would this magnet is initially. Initially, the magnet is like this. So if I release the magnet from here, what will happen to magnet? Magnet will rotate and tend to align itself with the direction of magnetic field. But what will happen? And in this case, by the time it turns here, it will acquire kinetic energy and will continue. It will keep having oscillation. We have done, again to repeat, we have done something similar in case of electric dipole. So this is the initial state. Let me understand what is asked here. Then the Ke of magnet as it takes north-south position. What will my final state, if I draw my final state, how would my final state look like? Let me quickly draw a figure. The final state, this is if this north direction. The magnet also is in this position. So here, this is the final state. In both the states, since the work is done by magnetic forces, which is conservative, I can conserve energy in both cases. In this case, theta is equal to 90 degree. I hope all of you understand what does theta mean here. Here, theta is equal to 0. So what is the equation I write here? Equation we write here, let's write the conservation of energy equation. P initial plus K initial is equal to P final plus K final, and initial K is equal to 0. You can easily find this value. Rest all is substitution. Coming further, there may be some questions about null point. And let's try and understand first of all, what does null point imply? Null points imply points with no magnetic field in presence of two bar magnets. Suppose there are two bar magnets present here. This is one bar magnet, and I can show it like this. I can show the bar magnet in form of an arrow. Arrow is from south towards north, and length of the arrow should indicate its magnitude M1. Similar way I can draw, this is the second bar magnet. Let me draw the different color, and I'll show why I want to draw the different color. This is second bar. So this is M1 and M2. Where would we have null point? Null point, how do we get null point? To understand null point, what is essential for null point? First of all, field have to act in the opposite direction. So null point, first, fields must be in opposite direction and equal magnitude. And second thing, equal magnitude. So which area, now there are three possible regions here. We have done something before. The one possible region is this. So what is the direction of field? This important point, what you need to understand, field, this is something, all the points we are talking about, axis of the dipole. So this is based on formula. What is magnetic field on the axis of a dipole is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into 2m divided by x cube. But important point is direction. So what is the direction of field due to M1? Everywhere direction of field in the axis same as the direction of dipole. That's important point we need to keep in mind. So direction of field anywhere on this dipole, this is the direction of field and due to M1. Everywhere this is the direction of dipole. And how about direction of field due to M2? Direction of field due to M2 will be from right towards left. So everywhere this is rightwards, everywhere this is leftwards, everywhere. So this basically tells you any point on the axis you choose, field will always be opposite. They're all points, at all points on the axis, fields are in opposite direction. So all I need to do now, so wherever magnitudes become equal, and that's the reason why we find, and second thing we know equal magnitude occur if I equate the magnitude ratio of M1 by x1 cube has to be equal to M2 by x2 cube. So what does this mean? Whichever M is less, corresponding distance will be less. It will, we have done it before, it will, null point will occur nearer to smaller m. And it will occur at 2 points. It will occur on one this side and one on the other side. So there will be two null points here because direction of field is same everywhere, two null points. I'll do one question, we can ask again the two null points. This is when they are placed along the same line. How about this orientation? This orientation, in this case, magnets are kept perpendicular to, let me call this as an x-axis. Magnet orientation is perpendicular to that axis. Another thing what we notice, the orientation of magnet, one of them M2 is in this case like this. This is orientation of M2. And what is the orientation of M1 in this case? Orientation of M1 is downwards. So here, field is created on the equatorial axis. Everywhere field due to M2. What is the direction of field anywhere on the x-axis? So now I'm talking about this case, second case. Second case, important point to understand, B2 on x-axis. And what is x-axis? In x-axis is what we also call as equatorial axis. Direction of field anywhere on the equatorial axis, B2 means due to second dipole or due to second bar magnet will be upwards. And similarly due to B1 will be downwards. So everywhere direction of field is opposite, only thing magnitude has to be equal and opposite. Again, it will occur similar to previous case. Only thing what will happen, only the formula will change and the null point will remain same. The formula will become mu naught by 4 pi 2m by, it is on the equatorial axis y cube. And we can easily calculate. Substituting, we can find there also there will be two null points. Both closer to a smaller m.
Sir?
Yes, yes.
Sir, on equatorial axis, the formula, will it be 2m or m, sir?
It is m only. Sorry, I wrote wrongly. That's what I, sorry. I quickly should remind me when I am saying something, writing something else. Equatorial axis is m only. That's why the only changes appears. It will be m only. How can we 2m? It's my mistake. Okay. Let's see, can we solve this kind of question quickly? Two bar magnets, magnetic moment 8 and 27, are placed 37 centimeters apart along their common axial line. So first of all, we should be able to draw the figure with the like poles facing each other. Can we draw a figure? If we can draw a figure, it's a fairly simple question to solve. If one magnet is like this, like poles are facing together each other. So if this one is not for this one, other one also will have north in the same sense. And they are placed along the common axial line in the opposite part. So one of them is 8 and other one is 27. So this is M2 and this is M1. We need to find, and this distance from here to here is equal to given as 35. Now, what are the neutral points? The neutral points, simply two neutral points will happen here. Two neutral points, how do we mark two neutral points? One will be something like this, in between these two of them. That will, let's call as x1. And second neutral point will happen here, n2, and that's called distance x2. Directions are already opposite because the orientation is opposite. I will only equate magnitude. So equate magnitude. So if I equate magnitude for first case here, what should I write in first case? Actually, okay, it's very simple. I think you easily solve that question. So you can write equation, but let me quickly write those terms. Okay, I think this you can easily solve. Really simple question. Now coming to a very simple thing. I don't know, it needs a separate subtopic and heading, but anyway, there's something called, some books refer to what they call as a tangent rule. And it doesn't need a rule. It's a very simple thing. Let's try and understand. And we have used it already. Bar magnet, when placed in external field, experiences torque which tends to align itself with the magnetic field. This we know already. What happens? What is the tangent rule? If a bar magnet is free to rotate about vertical axis, we have seen earlier, this bar magnet is free to rotate about vertical axis, then vertical component of magnetic field is irrelevant. We have seen earlier, like in case of door shutter also. See, in case of shutter of the door, what happens if you apply a force in the vertically upward direction? Does it cause any effect on the door shutter? The door shutter it can rotate only about vertical axis. So if we create a torque which is in the horizontal direction, it will not rotate. Something like this. So when it is free to rotate about vertical axis, vertical component of magnetic field is irrelevant. We only take BH. And then if there are two mutually perpendicular magnetic fields, so there's a bar magnet, there are two magnetic mutually perpendicular magnetic fields. Let's call one of them typically is magnetic field of Earth. And suppose we somehow create one more magnetic field which is perpendicular. And we create another magnetic field which is perpendicular. Now there are two magnetic fields. So earlier one was only one magnetic field. Bar magnet will tend to align itself with BH. What will happen if two of them are there? It will align itself at an angle theta from the initial BH direction, and this theta is nothing but direction of resultant magnetic field. So what is tan theta here? So if it will come to an equilibrium state at an angle theta from original direction, what would this tan theta be? Tan theta will be same as the direction of resultant field. And the direction of resultant field, how do we find the resultant? There are two vectors here. One vector is BH vector. Other is, we have created other perpendicular field here, which is this field. And resultant is this, and this is the angle theta. So tan theta is B by BH. Thus becomes a tangent rule. And what we understand from here, as B keeps increasing, theta also will keep on increasing. Larger the value of B, greater the value of theta. And there's one equipment, I think you would have seen that name before, but that equipment works on tangent rule. And that equipment is called tangent galvanometer. I will briefly discuss that topic, maybe not today. I will discuss what is a tangent galvanometer. The tangent galvanometer works on this principle. So if this field is created by circuit current, if whatever current we want to measure, we make it flow in a coil, and we'll see that again. So basically we create two mutually perpendicular magnetic field. One of them is Earth's magnetic field. We create perpendicular one, and depending on relative strength of the two, it will rotate. Higher the value of B or higher the value of current, greater will be the rotation. Greater will be the value of theta, given by this equation. Let's try and understand what happens if two magnets are there. Read this question, all of you, and we'll solve. It's a fairly simple question. So all of you read the question, try to draw a figure, and try to solve mentally. How do we go about solving this question here? Two bar magnets. So two bar magnets, we can represent bar magnet with an arrow. Let's see, one bar magnet is like this, M, and root 3M are joined to form a cross. So how are they joined? They are joined like this, 90 degree. One is M, other is something like this, root 3M. So these are two bar magnets, and we join them together. They form a cross. And combined thing is suspended freely in a uniform magnetic field. And we suspend in a magnetic field. It can rotate about this axis. It is free to rotate. What would be its equilibrium position? So it comes to an equilibrium. How do we apply condition of equilibrium? What will be the condition of equilibrium here? It's a rotation question. So what is condition of equilibrium? See, in case of equilibrium, resultant M. So earlier used to be only one dipole. Now there are two of them. So resultant M will align itself with BH. Does it make easy sense? So not M. So resultant M. So let's see it aligns itself. What is the resultant M direction V? So can we mark the resultant here? So let's see. So basically it is based on the condition of equilibrium. And since there are two dipoles, I need to, what is MR equal to? MR is resultant or vector sum of two magnetic moments. It's a vector quantity. So what will the vector sum here? This will be vector sum. Let's draw the vector sum here. How would the vector sum look like? This is root 3. This is how the direction will be. This is BH and this is root 3. So this angle will become 60 degree. This is my resultant magnetic dipole moment. Equipoise angle between magnetic moment and the field. So if this is the direction of resultant magnetic moment, what is the direction of field? Direction of field will be same as resultant of moment. So this MR and BH are same. Now I can answer the question. This is how it has come in equilibrium. So actually, if I have a bar magnet, if field is like this, or you can think of something like this. If BH was like this, if I suspend the bar magnet, it will come to stop. And can we find angle? What is what we have to find? Angle between magnetic moment root 3m and the field. I have to find this angle. It's easy to find. This angle is 30 degrees. So what we need to do, what is the important point we have learned, whenever more than one bar magnet is combined, we can treat them as one bar magnet having dipole moment, which is vector sum, and its direction also be along the resultant direction. Yes, Vignesh?
Sir, like, will there be some sort of a strain or some oscillation here? Because both of them will also individually try to.
Happen? Yes, if you are to think what will happen, let's be okay. Good question. Let me explain that part also. See, when it is in this state, just try and understand what will happen. It is in the state of equilibrium. We need to solve for equilibrium, but in case of equilibrium, what will happen? Some torque will act because of this field. There will be torque acting on this magnet, tau 2, which will tend to rotate in clockwise sense, and there will be torque acting on the other bar magnet also, tau 1. What will happen? This tau 1 and tau 2 will be equal and opposite. Are you following what I've said now?
Yes, sir.
Both the case torque will act, and unless we had tied them down securely, what will happen? They'll tend to see. Actually, if at this point where we have joined them with the wire or something, if you're not tied properly, what will happen? Both will tend to swing, and it may become something like this. If the joint is not strong, you know what will happen? If this is BH field, this also will rotate. This magnet also become like this. Both magnets will become like this. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then magnetic oscillation. Again, I would say nothing great. This is the, okay, we call it vibration magnetometer. This is nothing but actually a bar magnet is suspended freely, through a string, and there's something we make as some kind of plate here so that it can rotate only in the horizontal plane. So this is something is just like a compass. This arrangement is similar to compass, where the bar magnet can oscillate about vertical axis. So this arrangement, the purpose of this arrangement is only to make a bar magnet free to rotate about vertical axis, nothing else. So this is this. So this is something we understand. It makes it, and leveling screw and all to make sure that it's perfectly horizontal. And there's observation glass and all, point of suspension. This is not a, so that's why it's not a separate topic, but let's tell you. This also works on the principle of torque. So when you place an external field, it will tend to align itself with the magnetic field. Let's use this. So for a small angular displacement, it starts to oscillate. So if we place a bar magnet here, and if alignment of bar magnet is along BH, it will remain in equilibrium. But moment I give small angular displacement, it will start oscillating, and just similar to electric dipole. And what is, if we give a small displacement theta, torque which will act, and how much torque will be? Minus mv sine theta. Why are we writing minus here? Why the sign minus has been used here? To indicate if I rotate, if I give an angular displacement in particular direction, torque will act opposite to theta. That's why I write a negative sign. And for a small displacement, the torque which will act will be equal to minus mv theta. And this indicates since the torque is restoring torque and is proportional to theta, it will give rise to angular oscillation, SHM. It will give to angular simple harmonic motion. Similar to linear harmonic motion. What is the condition for linear harmonic motion? If we displace from equilibrium position, there has to restoring force, and restoring force must be proportional to displacement. That's the condition we use. And this we equate it to minus omega square x. So in place of x, it becomes tau, and in place of x, it becomes theta, and we write as, sorry, it can also write minus m a square. We can write as minus a alpha square. So this is something equivalent angular SHM. So this will have angular SHM, and equation also, this solution is similar way we can have, it will perform angular SHM. And how do you find value of omega? Using this equation. What we have, torque is equal to I into alpha. Alpha can be written as I d square theta by dt square, which is equal to minus mb theta. And from this I get an equation for theta. And what is omega in this case equal to? Omega is equal to coefficient of, from this equation. If I take what is alpha is equal to minus omega square theta. So what is omega square mb by I, or omega is equal to root of mb by I, or time period of oscillation is 2 pi root I by mb. So those who understand this one, there's no need to remember this, memorize this formula. If you can come to this formula in 10 seconds, no need to memorize. Those who are not so good, this formula you can memorize. What is time period of oscillation? 2 pi root I by mb. What is I indicate here? What is I here? Advai, can you tell me what is I term indicate here?
Moment of inertia of the magnet.
Moment of inertia about axis of oscillation or rotation. So if the bar magnets come here, this axis will be perpendicular to the rod passing through midpoint. What will the M? M will be magnetic dipole moment of the bar magnet, and B is typically, if it is made to oscillate in Earth's magnetic field, it is B is equal to BH. So these are the terms, rest all this substitution. So let's look at this. So what is the moment of inertia? So if a bar magnet, let's look from the top. Now we have placed a bar magnet. A bar magnet is something like this. If I'm looking from the top, why I'm looking from the top? Because axis of rotation is vertical. So this is the point about which it is suspended. Axis of rotation will appear like a line. And if it has finite width, bar magnet is from the top, it looks like a rectangle. In that case, moment of inertia will be equal to 1 by 2 m by 12 L square plus B square. But if it is a thin bar magnet is B is much smaller than L. If B is much smaller than L, this term will become negligible compared to L square. I can simply write I is equal to ML square by 12. This is for thin bar magnet, and majority of the questions are related to thin bar magnet. ML square by 12. M here is mass, it's not magnetic dipole moment. Now the question comes, some of the question, okay, so using this slogan, if I have the formula, what was the time period formula? Time period was equal to 2 pi root I by M into BH. So using this apparatus, if at a place BH is known, is it possible to find the magnetic dipole moment here? If I observe time period, if mass is known, dimension is known, I can be calculated, B is known, T can be found from experiment, magnetic dipole moment can be found. That's the purpose. We can compare, find magnetic dipole moment of any bar magnet or anything which acts as a bar magnet. Now the questions come, what happens if bar magnet, we cut it along the length. Okay, so if a bar magnet is there, we oscillate, we get some time period. Then afterwards, what we do, if we cut it along the length, we make into two pieces. If I make into two pieces, what are the things which will change? If we cut it along the length, what are the changes? So if I have to use this formula, again T dash will be equal to 2 pi, which terms will change? Moment of inertia will become I dash. M also may change, M dash and BH. So in this case, what will be the value of I dash here? See, I depends on, this is the formula for I. So let's understand, we cut into half, M will change, L will not change. If you cut it along this, what will happen? M will become half, L will remain same. So what will be my I dash be equal to? I dash will become half of the previous one. What will happen to M dash? M dash we have seen earlier. In this case, earlier it was M here, it will become M by 2. M dash also compared to initial magnetic dipole moment will become half. Okay, so what will be T dash? If you cut along the length, if you calculate T dash, 2 dash will be equal to, I can substitute. So we should know what is this one, I by 2, M by 2 into BH, and we find it is equal to T only. So if we cut it along the length and we take 1/2 of it, and again we oscillate. It is originally full bar magnet was oscillated, we find time period T. If we cut it along the length, again we take it and make it oscillate, again we find the time period remains same, and any such case we can solve. So this question is nothing but finding new value of I and new value of M. And we have done yesterday how to find M when we cut or add. We can make any modification. We can add another bar magnet perpendicular, we can cut and place perpendicular, and whatever arrangements we can make. We should know how to calculate new value of moment of inertia, and we should know how to calculate new value of magnetic dipole moment. Rest all is substitution in the formula, and they're simple questions. What will happen? Cut perpendicular to its length. So if it is cut, suppose second case what you are taking, if the bar magnet was like this, how we are done? We are cut in 2 halves perpendicular to its length. So each half we have cut it like this, each piece will become like this. One particular piece is like this. Let's see how this original was equal to M and I. What will happen to the cut part? So if you look at the cut part, what happens cut part or half length? Let's see what are things will happen. Is mass will become, M dash will be equal to M by 2. L dash will become L by 2. So what will I dash be equal to? I dash is equal to 1 by 12 mu mass into mu length square. And that will be equal to 1 by 2, or you can easily substitute. M dash you can substitute M by 2, this becomes half, length becomes half, so it becomes 1/8. I will become 1/8 of I. What will happen to value of M dash, magnetic dipole moment? Magnetic dipole moment is product of M into length. We have seen earlier, yesterday also, M will not change when you cut the length, only L part will change, M dash will become original M by 2. I can easily find the new time period. We can do an easy question. Well, so this time period, this kind of questions are easy substitution. Okay, now what are other variation? One kind we have taken, we can cut a bar magnet. Other thing what you can do, if you have 2 bar magnets. Okay, so we can have this a simple question, but let's understand that anyway. You have 1 bar magnet like this. Let me call this as M1. I1. It has a magnetic dipole moment of M1 and moment of inertia is I1. Second bar magnet is like this, which is M2 and I2. Now we can oscillate, we can substitute. Now what you can do, we can combine them along the length and make them oscillate together. So 2 magnets, when we put them together, there are 2 ways of putting it. If let's see if this is north and this is north. One way you can arrange, both are like this. You put one on top of other and both are like this. If both are like this, what will happen to moment of inertia and what will happen to I dash? I dash naturally is when you put them together, it is sum of moment of inertia. There's no sign convention involved. But what will M dash? M dash is vector sum. So if both are kept like this along the length of the same poles together, it will become M1 plus M2. When same poles. And when we have unlike pairs poles together, what is unlike means? if I have K places one north in this direction, that means first magnetic moment, this is M1. And if I place other one, we have kept unlike poles put together. Unlike poles together. If we have unlike poles together, also simple. This is other one. So here north is towards right, north is towards left. This is M2. What is the vector sum of the two? Where M dash will, in this case, will be equal to difference of the two, mod. And I dash will be sum only. I dash, this is not a vector sum. I dash will be equal to I1 plus I. So we can substitute, we can add together what will happen. Subtract is a simple, every time is calculation of I and M, and we can solve such question pretty easily. And we can also have two magnets, and we can place them like this also. Two magnets, we can place them perpendicular to each other and then oscillate. So first of all, in equilibrium position, they have to place in such a way that resultant M should be along BH and then oscillate. Now question is, if this is M1 I1 and this is M2 I2, what is the I dash I should take here? I dash is again, this vertical axis doesn't matter, its distance is same. I dash is equal to I1 plus I2. What is the M dash I should take here? M dash should become equal to vector sum of the two, which will be equal to M1 square plus M2 square. And if any angle theta also we can solve. So they are pretty simple addition of M and resultant I and resultant M. Those are oscillation questions, and these are fairly easy to solve. Okay, so these are the basic things and all the questions what I mentioned here. Let's look at some of the questions. Okay, so I'll give a couple of minutes. All of you can solve this question. Time period is a simple substitution in this formula. So I would suggest that most of you should know how to arrive at this formula in about maybe 15-20 seconds. And it's not difficult, so that you practice that one. If not, at least memorize the formula. Time period in uniform magnetic field is 4 seconds. So first case is a standard bar magnet. So it is M and I and T, and T is equal to 4 seconds. This what is given. So this is initial state. What is 4 seconds equal to? 4 is equal to 2 pi root I divided by M. Bar magnet is cut parallel to its length into 4 equal pieces. The time period in uniform magnetic field when the piece is used. So basically, which piece I have cut into 4 pieces. So what will happen to 4 equal pieces? So I am taking only one piece, 1/4 of the piece. We cut into 4 pieces. Which direction it is cut? Parallel to its length. So for this one, I need to calculate what will be my I dash and what will be my M dash. Can we easily calculate what will be the I dash here? See, in this case, mass has become 1/4, but length has remained same. So what will the moment of inertia? ML has remained same very easily. M dash will be equal to I dash will be equal to I by 4. And what about dipole moment M dash? In this case also, the pole strength or magnetic charge, if it was M for all 4 of them together, when you cut them across the length, it becomes 1/4, but the length remains same. So since the length remains same, the product it will become equal to M by 4 into L. It will be equal to M by 4. So what is my T dash equal to? T dash will be equal to 2 pi in place of I dash in place of I by 4, and in place of M by 4 into DH. What is that equal to? Oh, this is again 2 equal to I by M into DH. So these are fairly simple questions. I think most of you notice. Next question. Two bar magnet placed together. So which principle it is based on? We have done something similar. The first case when one magnet is reversed. First, one case it is like this. Both are in the same sense. So one case is M1 plus M2. Other case is M1 minus M2, assuming M1 is greater than M2. There are two oscillations. And what is the formula here? So which case then will the time period be greater? Time period is greater when M is smaller. When is M is smaller? When they are placed in the opposite sense. So corresponding to this is 4 seconds and corresponding to this is 3 seconds. So this question also fairly simple. T1 by T2 is equal to root of M2 by M1. And what is M2 by M1? Ratio of the magnitude M2 by M1 is what is the second case? Sorry, not M2 by M1. Okay, M by M dash. Yes, Vignesh?
Sir, end-to-end combination is not possible in this case.
Pardon me?
End-to-end combination.
And it's possible. So can we solve that question also? Suppose I had two identical bar magnets. And you should tell me the answer now. You have two identical bar magnets. This is M and this is I. Identical shape. Identical.
Yes.
So what we do is we connect them together. So what will be new value of I dash and what will be new value of M dash? M dash is very simple. If we have placed them along the same sense, M dash will become equal to 2M. What will happen to
Yes, sir.
I? See, what was I equal to initially? I was equal to, let's we take mass of each one is M and length is L. I was equal to ML square by 12. Now what will happen when we combine them, make as one piece? When we make them one piece for I dash, I need first M value. M dash will be equal to 2M. And what is the length will be equal to? Now length will be equal to 2L. It becomes like this. In that case, what is I dash equal to? Okay, again 1 by 2. 2M into 2L square. So it becomes
Yes, sir.
data. This is simple. But any combination doesn't matter. See, if we know how to calculate moment of inertia of two pieces and how to take the vector sum of M, there's nothing. We can have any variation. Doesn't matter. Okay. So that's what we have done. And I hope you find this topic as something more similar also. Okay. Other part is tangent galvanometer. Okay, tangent galvanometer, I don't think I'll do it today. So tangent galvanometer will take 5 minutes. I will do it tomorrow. Okay. So tangent galvanometer, and what I expect, I think today we do not have an evening session. And anyway, I have some meeting here. So anyway, I won't be there. I expect all of you to go through the questions, what you have done, what you have seen on the screen and solve it. And second thing, please make a note in your material. There are some questions which are based on monopole. We can ignore all questions which are based on monopole. We need not do those questions. The monopole concept we don't have to calculate. But other question, calculation of field, all those things are just dipole, and they are simple questions similar to electric dipole. It should be a cakewalk if we understand what is electric dipole. Anvita,
Yes, sir.
have you been following so far?
Yes, sir.
See, one thing you have to understand is a revision of what we had done. Only change is the notation have changed. Rest all everything is same. Hemant? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is something I think all of you go through. And anybody has any query, we can ask them now. I think as far as the teaching part is concerned, I think this is what I wanted to do today. And tomorrow I'll do a small topic of tangent galvanometer, and then we go to magnetic properties of matter. Okay. So any question anyone has?